Is this going to be a lot cleaner? What about danger compared to the coal?
So emissions-wise, TR on the other side can explain all of our emissions, but this doesn't have the emissions factor that burning coal does. So you don't have the particulates with this like you do with coal. But keep in mind, our coal units that were here, we were meeting all of the emissions with the coal units. It wasn't like we were meeting all of our state regulations and emissions compliance with our coal units. But as far as your question, definitely clean burning technology. And we'll meet all the emission standards out there for these.
I have a question. How consistently do you do that? How consistently do you
Yes, sir. Thank you. Nice meeting you, sir. What is that again?
How you consistently make clean burning than coal?
Cleaner burning than coal?
How are you going to make sure it's
So you're asking how are we going to verify it's cleaner burning than coal? So the technology of the gas turbines themselves, so they have all of the new technology for the emissions removal. So they'll have SCRs on them, OCRs on them. They'll meet today's standards of technology for emissions removal.
You want to stand up for 10 years from now?
I can't hear you, sir. Sorry.
Stand up for 10 years from now. Same difference, same clean burning in 10 years from now.
You said a sane burning in 10 years from now.
Yeah, clean, still burning clean in 10 years from now.
So what we're installing is going to meet the emission standards that they're designed to meet. Yes, sir.
How many years in the future can you do that?
How many years in the future can we do that?
Yeah.
So they'll meet the standards that they're designed to, and that we're installing them to meet. So the standards that they're designed to put in for is what they'll meet. Thank you.
Just frustrating to see that. Why we're paying for it, the customers are paying for all of the big data centers that really, they need to go someplace else if they can't provide their own energy. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's just for me, it's just frustrating to see that we're bending over backwards for this. The companies should be doing it themselves. My opinion. I appreciate it.
And so our generation planning is based on predictions of future growth. And we do that we think ahead in order to be responsible and ensure that we have enough power for all of our customers. So we're planning ahead when we're thinking about this.
Isn't the growth right now in those businesses that are going to be huge energy sinks? Why don't we put some of the responsibility on them?
That's a great
Power
question.
themselves.
Yeah, I don't.
Because the residential is relatively flat. In EJM, Ohio's not growing, Pennsylvania's not growing, West Virginia's shrinking. We're growing somewhat. So the PJM grid, the population is basically flat, and we're getting more efficient. So I think when you say we're growing, not a lot. We're not Texas. We're not Florida.
Originally from New Jersey, and they have pretty much flattened out.
That's also part of PJM.
Yeah, part of PJM. I used to work for it. Now, all them are coming here. In Jersey. All the people from New Jersey, Syracuse, New York, they're coming to here.
No net savings.
They're not getting through Florida anymore. They come here and they stop.
There are activities coordinator. Yeah. Maybe you can answer. Had somebody ask you about what's the status of coal activities since you guys move in the site.
I can find something.
Okay, I mean I can.
Yeah.
We know that answer.
How much would this project going to cost us?
We are still working on that analysis. And we should have that now
because we're still going through the analysis. We just did the relocation, the site relocation, so developing all those costs for that to get for everyone. So we don't have it at this moment, but we will be having it.
Thank you, sir.
Justice angle. Okay, for a lot of fronts, not just Can I ask you a question? Sure. Okay, so I haven't done the data on this yet. Okay, so it's not data, it's just wondering kind of what y'all's outreach is looking like, especially in terms of going back to the old site means a lot of pollution for a community that's already had 70 years of coal pollution, decommissioned coal, but still gas pollution going on. And to my understanding, the ponds are still in the process of being cleaned up. So kind of wondering what y'all's plan is to not overburden that same community by bringing in something else. What I can tell you is that we're planning more of these meetings, as you know, to get input. So be sure you write it down. I know that's on the 10th and the 17th. Yeah. So be sure to come with comments, especially written comments. Okay. Is there a place we should be submitting? I don't know. I didn't plan this one. Okay. But yeah, they're planning on a lot more public outreach because there has been some confusion about the site. Okay. Do you know anything about why the other site was responding late? So I don't know a lot. They asked me to come so I could look at what everybody's thinking. Yeah. So it sounds like folks are really concerned about health and fitness. Deeply concerned wherever it is. I mean, we have a position that we don't feel that it's necessary. But we're really concerned that we're just kind of adding more to legacy pollution, and that's an environmental justice community that is 30 years, 40 years, 50 years.
Do you speak Spanish? Yeah, I can tell from your accent earlier.
So it's just especially troubling to me that the new site is now the solution that cities come up with is bringing it back to people that have just endured all of that when it is clearly environmental in that area. So that's yeah, because I think we'll be able to help assessment. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what kind of demographic data you might be using in addition to the EPG screen, EPA EPG screen and things like that. Okay, the EPG screen takes a long time. About 6 months.
Virginia, and then there's the Outer Banks region of North Carolina that pulls into TJM.
When I was at Dominion's IRP, it showed residential rates were projected to like double or even more over the next like 10, 15 years, right? And when I go on Dominion's website, they say that a lot of rate increases are about building and bringing new power online. So how much of that increase in the IRP can be attributed to this plan?
So the IRP is actually not project specific. It doesn't contemplate any specific project.
How is that calculated if it's not counting in like new projects coming online and different things like that?
Yeah, they have different resources that they account for in the IRP, but nothing's project specific. So when we go to the State Corporation Commission for a CPCN for this project, there will be bill impacts that are presented for this particular project.
About a year ago, I asked 2 questions. I think it might have been the first event you guys had.
Sure.
It was how much was the plant going to cost to build and how much was it going to cost to run. When I look at the Energy Information Administration's projections for like cost per megawatt hour, simple combustion turbines like this is like $120 per megawatt hour. Solar is like $30 per megawatt hour. So, do we have, I know the Dominion knows how much like a projected cost is putting this out. So are you guys willing to share with us how much it's going to cost to build, how much it's going to cost to run this plant?
So we actually don't know yet.
How do you know?
So I was going to say, I'm going to tell you when we'll know. So throughout the development
Hey, I'm Jessica Sims. I'm the Virginia Field Coordinator for Appalachian Voices, and I grew up in Chesterfield County. I am deeply concerned about the proposed gas plant that Dominion has now said they want to site at the location of their existing power station. That is a community that has endured decades of pollution and should not face another climate disrupting, methane spewing source of harm to their health and their livelihoods. Dominion has an opportunity to use their very ample resources and smarts to come up with better, cleaner solutions for our Commonwealth's energy needs. So we are gathered here with other representatives from Friends of Chesterfield, and just really concerned that Dominion has proposed this project. We don't want it in Chesterfield. We don't want it anywhere. We don't want it in anyone's backyards. We do not agree with them that it is necessary, and we do not think that any amount of pollution is acceptable.